Good evening, everybody. My name is Tim Scott. I live here in South Bend, but I work for this really cool company in Goshen, Indiana called GDC. And I'm not here to tell my story. I'm here to tell a story about a couple co-workers and colleagues of mine. They can't speak because they're parts. They're auto parts. Top one is Enduraprene, the other one is Sonazorb. So we'll get to Enduraprene in a little bit, but I want to talk about Sonazorb, what we call Sono, just for short. This is a great little product. It's found in every vehicle out there. And it kind of had a social and environmental impact that took it on a journey around America a little bit. So Sonazorb is a polypropylene. It is in every car that's out there. It makes your car quiet. It's in the headliners and the roofs and the door panels and all that, and it soaks up sound. It makes everything really quiet. But back in 2010, we decided it needed a new mission. So you remember this, the Gulf of Mexico oil spill. Well, this thing came along. We thought, hey, we got another purpose for Sonazorb. Sonazorb, if you accept this mission, we want to send you to the Gulf of Mexico. We want to turn you into oil booms because it's made of polypropylene. Polypropylene's made of oil. Oil likes oil. They hang out together. They stick together. And they're great for oil booms. So we took 1 million pounds of Sono and said, hey, go down to the Gulf of Mexico, dance around in the Gulf, soak up some oil. So it was down there dancing around. We're up in Goshen going, gee, what are we going to do with that after it's all dirty? What are we going to do? We can't throw it away. So let's think. Why don't we bring this back and transform it into Enduraprene and make it into a car part? And that's just what we did. We took that 1 million pounds, brought it back, washed it, put some pressure, some heat to it, turned it into this crunchy little plastic parts. And then from there, we're able to mold it and make it into a car part. But the one thing is, we wanted a very special car to prove this out. So we took 1 million pounds of plastic, Sonazorb, turned it into Enduraprene, and put it in the Chevy Volt. So there's 1 million pounds of tragedy of the Gulf of Mexico riding around in electric cars right now. So from Goshen, Indiana to the Gulf of Mexico, back to Goshen, Indiana, we were able to make this really cool part. And I'm awful proud of that, but we had another mission for Sonazorb. We said, you know what, Sonazorb? There's this great gal, Veronica Scott, up in Detroit. And she's working on coats and employing the homeless. And the coats are turned into sleeping bags. And we said, you know what, Sonazorb, if you accept this mission, we're going to send you up to Veronica because polypropylene is a great insulator. It's lightweight, it goes into these coats, and it keeps people warm. So we said, Veronica, we'll send you 2,000 yards of Sonazorb. You guys go up there, hang out, get cut up in the coats, and they made 400 coats for the homeless people out of Sonazorb, just material that we had for car parts. So we were pretty proud. Well, Enduraprene got a little jealous and said, hey, what about me? What can I do to help the environment? So we said, you know what, Enduraprene, you can be made out of any plastic. But you know what? Let's take some trash. What if we make you out of old pop bottles, detergent, everything that we throw away in the recycling that's plastic? Why don't we turn it into car parts called Enduraprene? And that's just what we did. And Enduraprene said, yeah, this is a pretty cool deal. So my job is to find 5 million pounds of pop bottles that we can turn into car parts. So then we thought, let's take it a step further. How can you, Enduraprene, help out the environment a little more and maybe employ some people? So what we do now is we take hemp and naft and jute fibers, and we take the scrap from from coconut farmers in Indonesia, and we put it back into the plastic. So what you're seeing is a biocomposite plastic where it's 70% plastic and only 30% plastic, or 70% biocomposites and only 30% plastic. So I want to thank you and allowing me to tell the story of Enduraprene and Sonazorb.